Nice job.
Thank you.
And I have a million ideas floating around in my head about the film.
So do I.
Also, I live in Texas, and Malik's kind of a not only a recluse and an eccentric, but pretty much a genius.
Yeah.
And you realize while you're working on this film that it was a different way of filmmaking, or was it similar?
I don't think being in Australia and under all these conditions could not be different, regardless of whether it was Terrence Malick or not. You're away from home for 6 months on the other side of the world, and you're doing a war picture. Doesn't matter who it is; it's going to be a different, crazy experience.
Was it what you thought it would be like, or was it?
I had some thoughts about what it might be like, but they got thrown out the window, and I can't really remember whether my expectations were met or not. I just kind of went with the in the moment while I'm working, in the moment while I'm not, and just flowing with the whole picture. Yeah.
My father fought in the Pacific Fleet, was on 3
Wow.
ships. 2 of them were sunk, and was a survivor twice.
Wow.
And his relationship with his buddies is different than anything else I've ever witnessed in my life. There's something special about all of his war buddies that he goes to every year, and they get together at the
Absolutely.
reunion. Do you kind of understand a little bit of that?
Sure,
now?
I do. We were in Guadalcanal, and I probably dove on one of those troop ships. Well, actually, we dove on a Japanese one, a scuba dive, and I went actually with a bunch of World War II vets and their sons at one point, and the bond was incredible. And my bond with some of the actors, like Ben Chaplin, will be forever. I'll be his buddy for eternal. I'll always have his back. Definitely, it feels really tight like that. And that was just acting, so I can't even imagine what it was like when somebody was really having your back and when you were being shot at.
You have a moment in the film, which is pretty amazing, where you experience your first kill.
Yeah.
And to get to that moment, what do you do to get to that moment?
It was hard. It was just it was like a big mix of emotions. I wanted to be a cocky and a hero, so my first kill was like, yeah, I killed somebody, and then I'm almost experienced remorse for it in the same moment. So it was like I was just trying to be subtle in that, wow, I just killed a man, and at the same time, like now I can go on and kill others, but like I can never go back to not having killed anybody. Once you kill somebody, you're a killer.
I want to vicariously live through you for a minute
Sure.
and find out how Malick communicates with you. How does he get out of you what he needs to get for the image?
He let me run with it a lot. He knew what I was going to bring to it, I think. But when it came time to communicate, he just, he'd be very supportive, and sometimes he'd talk you through it off camera. He'd be like, well, now you see the Japanese guy. Now pop up, and you see him, then I'd shoot, and then it was really up to me to make those little changes. There's only so much a director can direct you, and you got to bring to the table what you got.
Last question: the character that you play, what's his heart like?
I think it's big. I think it's really big. I think there's a scene up at the Stronghold where me and Ben Chaplin hug for a minute, and I think it's big. I think it's young. It's a really young heart, and there's a bunch of moments that are cut out of the movie where he's kind of silly and he's laughing after he made some hero moves. I think he's just sort of fun and naive. He's cocky and he doesn't even know what he really wants, except that he wants to show everybody that he's bigger than he actually is.
I lied. One more question.
Sure, go for it.
When you look, after the experience is over and you go in with preconceived ideas and you come out with what it really is, when you look at the film, what really, at its core, pleases you the most?
All the parts of mine that were in. Kidding. It pleases me to see, after getting over the initial actor crap, it pleases me to see a war movie that balances out with sort of the circle of life in terms of nature and the universe, because no war films have ever really shown that. And while the beginning shot with the crocodile going under, I mean, that symbolism is bananas to me. I just think it blows me away. And then you see these guys on the ship, and just these analogies that he's created. Just coming away with that was pretty exciting.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
You too.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Got it.